Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
Morning,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Fine, ma'am.
Hi. So this is your first session of today. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Go through the chapter? Yes or no? Did you all get your textbook?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Course
ma'am.
book only.
Ma'am, course book only.
Okay, course book only. For the time being, we'll be doing the course now. Okay. Go through the chapter. What were the things that we discussed in the last class? Pratana?
Ma'am,
Yes. We just
Ma'am,
started a bit with this chapter. We discussed
the
about the author James Harriet. Do you remember?
Yes.
So, Michelle, tell me, from which work of James Harriet this particular story is taken? Mrs. Beck drives a hard bargain.
ma'am, all creatures greetings. Ma'am.
Yes, very good. All creatures, great. Midun, tell me what you
Yes, ma'am.
understand about the title. Mrs. Beck drives a hard bargain. We discussed the title also
Mr.
last
Babs.
class. What do you mean by drive? Mrs. Beck drives a hard bargain.
Man, drive means get low, giving to low price.
No, drive.
Ma'am, compelling.
Yes,
Ma'am,
good.
compelling.
Compelling. Mrs. Beck is driving a hard bargain, which means she is compelling to get a hard bargain. What do you mean by bargain, Shivanya?
I'm trying to change the price of something.
Trying to reduce the price of something. So here we know that James Harriet is a veterinary surgeon who treats animals. So, Krishnaveni, tell me who are the main characters in the story?
Ma'am, Mrs. Beck, James Herrick,
Yes.
and Cat Georgina.
All right. Mrs. Beck, James Harriet, and Cat Georgina. These are the three main characters in the story. We'll find one more character, that's a minor character called as Tristan Farnan. Tristan Farner, who is serving as an assistant to James Harriet. Okay. Now, Abhinav, give me the actual name of James Harriet. What is the actual name of James Harriet?
James Alfred White.
James Alfred White, that is his actual name. All right. So, Alan, can you just tell me what did we discuss in the last class? A bit of the story? How does the story begin? Alan Joy.
Ma'am, Mrs. Beck goes to the cat animal hospital.
Yes. Mrs. Beck goes to the veterinary hospital.
And James Hurd tells that the cat needs a operation.
Informs the doctor that the cat needs. There's a matter of discussion between them. Children, can you all hear me properly?
Ma'am, only little voice.
Okay, why didn't
Ma'am,
you?
your voice
No,
is
ma'am,
breaking.
we can hear.
Why did you tell me before?
Ma'am,
I think I have
sometimes
to.
it is.
Ma'am,
Okay.
your voice is breaking.
Okay. I think I have to hold this mic mouthpiece close to my mouth. Only then you will be able to hear me properly. Okay, I'll do that. When you find it difficult to hear me, please tell me. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. So I think we were
Ma'am.
Alan, continue.
Ma'am, James Hurd says that the amount of the operation will be £1.
Yes.
She drives. She compelled to make the amount lower to 10 shillings.
All right. Very good. All right, so the story opens with a conversation between Mrs. Beck and James Harriet. Those are the two characters of our story, Mrs. Beck and James Harriet. James Harriet is a veterinary surgeon. He's practicing in Yorkshire in UK. And rather than dealing with animal patients, he has to deal with the demanding owners. And one such owner is Mrs. Beck. So the story opens with a conversation between Mrs. Beck and James Harriet. So here we find that Mrs. Beck is driving a hard bargain with James Harriet. She is compelling James Harriet to do the operation for a very low rate. So actually her cat has to undergo an operation, and the rate for the operation is £1. But she wants to get the operation done just for 10 shillings. And how does the author portrays the external appearance of Mrs. Beck? Shankari, can you just explain the external appearance of Mrs. Beck?
Ma'am, ma'am, she has a small, neat figure,
Yes.
the healthy cheeks, and the helmet of grey hair.
Very good. The lady, Mrs. Beck, though she is old, but she has got a small, neat figure with healthy cheeks and helmet of gray hair. And Michelle, tell me, what is the excuse made by her that she wanted to get the operation done for 10 shillings?
I can't hear you.
What was the excuse given by Mrs. Beck? Why she wanted to get the operation for 10 shillings?
Ma'am, because she told that she was a widow.
Yes, she tells
A widow.
Harriet repeatedly that she was a widow. All
A
right.
widow.
All right. Gino? Is James Harriet ready to believe Mrs. Beck that she is a widow? How do you know?
I'm Mrs. Beck. It is her cat now, that's why.
Is James Harriet ready to believe Mrs. Beck as a poor widow? Yes or no?
Yes.
He's ready to believe? Initially?
No.
No, he had a doubt. He had a doubt. What was the cause of his doubt? Steve Siju, what was the cause of doubt for him?
Yes, ma'am. Her next door neighborhood in Riot Village had said it's all a tale. Mr.
Yes.
Harriet, she tries it on everybody, but I will tell you, she owns a lot of property.
All right, very good. Her next door neighbor in Rayton Village has told Mr. Harriet, it's all a tale, it's all a story. Harriet, actually, she's not a poor lady. She owns a lot of property. Is it clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So shall we continue?
Yes, ma'am.
So who wants to read first? I think I'll ask Thomas to read. Thomas? Page number 83.
Yes,
From
ma'am.
4th paragraph onwards. As I told you, read.
Ma'am, page number?
83, page number 83. As I told you, Mrs. Beck, we have done that part, but as a continuation, we'll start from there. Did you see that? Thomas?
Ma'am, my book.
Okay, I will move to Abhishek. Abhishek, why your name is not typed there? Abhishek.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, read. Read. You're not ready with the text. Okay. Ashmit,
Yes, ma'am.
read.
As I told you, Mrs. Beck, the only way is to operate on your cat, and the charge is £1. But you are asking me to do it for half the price. That's ridiculous. This is a major operation under a general anesthetic. You can't do a job like that for 10 shillings.
All right.
She turned and looked out the window, and her shoulders began to shake. You won't even take pity on a poor widow.
All right. So, Anlia, tell me, what kind of operation was that? What kind of operation James Harriet has to perform on the cat?
General anesthetic.
Yes, a major operation under general anesthetic. What do you mean by general anesthetic?
Ma'am, it is a drug.
General anesthetic.
like
Anesthesia means a surgery which makes the patient unconscious so that they will not feel any pain. All right, so we'll continue. She turned and looked out of the window and her shoulders began to shake. You won't even take pity on a poor widow. So the thing that the lady was repeatedly saying was she was a poor widow. Oh, I'm a poor widow and you're
Ma'am,
not.
not hearing your voice.
Okay, I'll make it more louder. Okay, so the lady says that James Harriet is not ready to take pity on her even after explaining that she was a poor widow. Alina Verghese, continue with the next paragraph. Alina Verghese. This had been going on. Read.
It have been gone on 10 minutes. I soon realized that I
Realized
was a
that.
pres-
I soon realized that.
sorry, I soon realized that I was a present character.
I think Alina has got some connectivity problem. I'll move to
Ma'am.
Tia. Tia Tojo. Tia, read. Quickly read.
hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes. I can hear you. Read.
Ma'am, my book is not clear.
Your book is not clear. Okay.
Ma'am,
Alana Jinson. Read.
This had been going on for 10 minutes.
Going on for 10 minutes.
Going on for 10 minutes, I soon realized that I was in the presence of a character far stronger than myself. It was becoming increasingly clear that I was not going to win this argument.
Continue. I'll tell where to stop.
I said maybe she really was a poor widow. All right, Mr. Beck, I will do.
Mrs. Beck. All right, Mrs. Beck.
Mrs. Beck, I will do it for 10 shillings. Just this once. Will Tuesday afternoon be all right for you?
Okay, enough. Thank you, Alana. This had been going on for 10 minutes. So what was going on for 10 minutes? Who can give me an answer? What was going on for 10
And the
minutes?
argument.
argument.
Yes, very good. The argument between Mrs. Beck and James Harriet was going on for 10 minutes. What was the argument? Raulga, where did you disappear? Raulga. Okay. Alan, tell me, what was the argument between Mrs. Beck and James Harriet?
Ma'am, about she was
Children, you have to listen to the class carefully.
when she
What was the argument between Mrs. Beck and James Harriet?
when she was compelling to make 1 pound into 10 shillings.
All right. She demanded that the operation should be done for 10 shillings and not for 1 pound. So argument, a bargaining was happening between Mrs. Beck and James Harriet. I soon realized that I was in the presence of a character far stronger than myself. Who is referred to I? Midun? Who is referred to I?
Ma'am.
Sorry?
Mr. Beck.
I'm James Harriet.
James Harriet. Okay, Mrs. Beck and James Harriet. Those are the characters. Don't say that Mr. Beck. Mrs. Beck and James Harriet. And I in the story refers to?
Ma'am, Mr. Harriet.
Yes, Mr. Harriet or James Harriet. I, the narrator in our story, is James Harriet. I was in the presence of a character far stronger than myself. So why did he say that? He was in the presence of a character far stronger than himself. Who is a stronger character here in the story, Jeevan? Who is a stronger character here in the story?
Mrs. Beck.
Mrs. Beck, very good. Mrs. Beck is a stronger character. How do you know that?
Because she will be arguing for a very long time.
Yes, she has been arguing for more than 10 minutes and James
And he-
Harriet realized that.
He will put pity on her at last.
Yes. Finally, having no other way, James Harriet had to believe that she is a poor widow. So the narrator, James Harriet, tells that he was in the presence of a character far stronger than himself. It was becoming increasingly clear that I wasn't going to win this argument. So they were bargaining with each other. An argument was going on, and Harriet realized that he's not going to win this argument. So what kind of nature do you find in Harriet, Shivanya? What kind of nature?
Ma'am, he was not that much good to bargain with her.
Okay, very good. He was not that good to bargain. Okay, all right. Can anyone give me another answer? What Shivanya said is right, but then I'm looking for something else. Pratana? What nature of Harriet do you find here?
Ma'am, person.
Yes? What kind of a person he is?
He doesn't like to bargain or fight.
Okay, he doesn't like to bargain or fight. All right. Dion, what do you think? Dion? Dion is not responding. Maybe some connectivity issue. Varada, are you there? Dreaming in the class?
No, ma'am.
Then what? Tell me, what nature of Harriet do you find here? What kind of a person is Harriet? Harriet tells that he is not going to win the argument. So, what do you think of Harriet? Can anyone give me the answer? It's an open question to all of you. Yes? No idea. All of you are thinking so hard. Don't break your head. Okay?
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you repeat the question?
What nature of Harriet do you find here in the story? He tells that he is in the presence of a
Ma'am,
stronger
kind.
character than... Yes, very good, Ashmit. Kind and soft-hearted. Harriet actually did not believe the lady that Mrs. Beck is a poor widow because her neighbor in the Rayton village had already told him that it's all a tale and she owns a large property. And looking at her small, neat, healthy figure and healthy cheeks, Harriet had a doubt whether the lady is actually poor or not. But then the argument was going on for 10 minutes or more than that, and he realized that he's not going to win the argument. He's in the presence of a stronger character. But here we find that not only he is not good in arguing, but also he is a person who is having a kind and soft heart. He's a soft-minded person. He's a kind-hearted person. Did you get that?
Yes,
ma'am.
Is it clear to you, children?
Yes, ma'am.
So in the textbook, you just note down nature of James Harriet, kind-hearted, soft-minded. Just not all these points in your text. Okay.
Ma'am, I didn't get the text.
Sorry.
I didn't get the text.
Okay. Those who don't have the text, you can write it in your notebook. Whatever it is, you should have the reference when you go through the chapter. Okay. I sighed. Maybe she was really a poor widow. All right, Mrs. Beck, I'll do it for 10 shillings just this once. Will Tuesday afternoon be all right for you? So finally, having no other way, James Harriet, the kind-hearted person, has to agree with Mrs. Beck. He agreed to do the operation for...
10 shillings.
Yes, he agreed to do the operation for 10 shillings. Actually, the major operation which has to undergo general anesthetic cost...
£1.
£1 pound. Very good.
£1.
Perfect answer. Yes. Actually, the operation cost £1, but then he agreed to do it for 10 shillings. Just this once. Only for this time. He tells that only for this time, I'm ready to do the operation for 10 shillings. Will Tuesday afternoon be all right for you? So when did he fix the operation?
Tuesday.
On Tuesday afternoon.
Yes,
Tuesday.
On Tuesday afternoon, he fixed the operation. She swung round from the window. Okay, I want somebody else to read. Allah John. Allah?
Ma'am,
Yes. Start reading.
She swung round from the window, her face crinkling magically into a smile.
Yes.
There, I will suit me grand.
That'll suit me grand.
That will suit me grand.
Yes.
That's right kind of you.
All right, continue.
Just one thing, I said, as I held the front door open for her. Don't give Georgina any food from midday on Monday. She must have an empty stomach when you bring her in.
All right. She swung round from the window, her face crinkling magically into a smile. What do you mean by swung? What do you mean by swung? Yes? It's the past tense of swing. It's the past tense of swing. Swung. Swung means to move. She moved around from the window. So actually she was turning to the window and she was having a lot of drama. She was trying to emotionally blackmail Harriet. But then now she swung. She turned around from the window to face Harriet. Her face crinkling magically into a smile. What do you mean by crinkle? Crinkling?
Become covered in many small lines and fold.
Yes, forming small lines. When you smile, you might have noticed small wrinkles on your face. Haven't you noticed?
No.
No? Okay, just go to the mirror, stand in front of the mirror and just smile at yourself. Then you will find that small wrinkles on your face. That wrinkles are not permanent, okay? Permanent wrinkles comes once you're old. But then these are the temporary wrinkles. Once you smile, you can see small folds or lines on your face. Her face crinkling magically into a smile. That will suit me, Grant. That's right kind of you. So the lady has become so happy. Why is she so happy?
Because
Ma'am, because the price has been reduced to 10 shillings.
Yes, very good. After a long time of bargaining with the surgeon, he was able to get it done. Yes. Her aim was fulfilled finally. That's right kind of you. Thank you so much, Harriet. You have granted to do the operation for 10 shillings. Just one thing I said as I held the front door open for her. So you find that Harriet is a so generous person. He is treating the lady very well. He opens the door. He keeps the door open for Mrs. Beck to go out. Okay. Don't give Georgina any food from midday on Monday. Who's Georgina?
The cat.
Cat.
Pet cat. The pet cat of Mrs. Beck. So when a question comes, who is Georgina? You have to write in full answer. The pet cat of Mrs. Beck. Don't give Georgina any food from midday on Monday. So just guess what is the problem the cat is having? What is the problem that the cat is having?
Ma'am,
Yes.
Ma'am, for the surgery from the midday, from the last day, you should not eat anything.
The cat might be having some stomach problem. Yes?
Yes.
Cat might be facing, what is the kind of murmuring sounds coming through? Okay, now it is clear. So the cat might be having some stomach problem, some digestion problem. So that it should be operated. So the advice given by James Harriet is that don't give Georgina any food from midday on Monday. Midday means what?
Noon, 12 o'clock.
Afternoon. 12
Midday
o'clock.
means noon time. From noon time onwards, you should not give Georgina any food. And when the doctor is going to do the operation, on which day?
Tuesday.
Afternoon.
Do the operation on Tuesday afternoon. So from Monday midday onwards, from Monday noon onwards, yes, from Monday noon onwards, Georgina should not be given any food. She must have an empty stomach when you bring her in. She must have an empty stomach. If I want to do the surgery, if I have to do the operation, then you must bring the cat with an empty stomach. Is that clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Shall we continue a little more?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. If you're ready?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Bit more. Now, who wants the chance to read? Evelyn? Evelyn, unmute. Unmute. Okay, read. Read the next page, page number 84. Evelyn is giving a good smile. I want you to read. Read loudly. I cannot hear you. No audibility. Dion? Dion, unmute.
Ma'am, no text.
No textbook. So sad. Get it fast. Okay, get it early as possible.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Thomas Taco. Are you ready with the text now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, read.
Bring her in. She was a picture of Blinderman, but I haven't got a car. I got your collecting her.
Once again, just read. Bring her in.
Bring her in. She was picture of Blinderman,
Bewilderment.
bewilderment,
Okay.
but
Bewilderment.
I haven't got a car. I thought you'd be collecting her. Collecting, but returns 5 miles away. Yes, and bring her back afterwards too. I have no transport.
All right.
Collect, operate, or on her, take her back. All for 10 shillings.
Yes.
She was still smiling, but a touch of steel in her eyes. Well, that's what you agreed to charge, 10 shillings. But oh now you're starting again. The smile faded and she put her hand on one side.
She put
And
her
I
head on
am
one
only
side.
and I am only a poor. Okay, I said hastily. I called on
Hastily.
Tuesday.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. I think Thomas read from the last year's textbook. Okay. There is a slight difference in this year's textbook. There's a slight difference in the dialogue in this year's textbook and last year's textbook. Okay. So, but almost it's the same. So those who have got the textbook, new textbook, just look into it because I'm also having the new textbook with me. So look into it, okay? So I'll be reading accordingly. Bring her in. She looked bewildered. But I haven't got a car. I thought you would be collecting her. So who is her in these lines?
Georgina.
Georgina.
Very good.
Georgia.
Her refers to Georgina.
Georgina.
She looked bewildered. What do you mean by bewildered or bewilderment?
Looking very confused and uncertain.
Yes, looking very confused and uncertain. So this lady, actually, she is not at all planning to take the cat to the hospital. But then she wants who to come and take her?
Harriet.
Harriet.
James Harriet.
The doctor. Bring her in. She looked bewildered. She looked surprised. But I haven't got a car. I thought you would be collecting her. Now, the first demand made by Mrs. Beck was that she wanted to do the operation. She wanted the doctor to do the operation for 10 shillings.
10 shillings.
Now look at her demand. The second demand. I haven't got a car. I thought you would be collecting her. I thought you will come to my house and collect. So just imagine the condition of the doctor. Not only he has to do the operation, but he has to go and collect the cat from the house.
Her house.
Very sad, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Collecting. But Rayton's 5 miles away. So what is Rayton?
Village.
Village.
Rayton is the name of a village where Mrs. Beck is residing. Rayton is 5 miles away from the hospital, from James Harriet's clinic or from his hospital. Rayton is 5 miles away. I have to travel so long. So what do you mean by collecting? So Mrs. Beck responds.
Bring the cat
That
to hospital.
Yes. And bring her back afterwards too. I have no transport. So we find that Mrs. Beck is taking a lot of advantage of James Harriet's soft-mindedness. Do you all agree with that?
Yes.
Yes, of course. She's taking a lot of advantage. So first, she made him agree to do the operation for 10 shillings. Now she is making more and more demands. She tells that, yes, you have to collect cat, Georgina, from my house. You have to do the operation and you have to bring her back. Yes, and bring her back afterwards too. I have no transport. So what is the excuse given by her?
She have no transport.
You have no
She
transport.
doesn't have any transport.
Transport.
Collect, operate on her and take her back, all for 10 shillings. The doctor is so surprised and he's asking, what do you mean? I have to do all these things for 10 shillings.
For half the price.
Yes, for 10 shillings, collecting, operating and bringing her back, all for 10 shillings. Well, that's what you agree to charge, 10 shillings. So earlier, did Mrs. Beck mention that James Harriet has to do all these things for 10 shillings?
No.
No, ma'am.
She did not mention at all. First, she made him agree to do the operation for 10 shillings. Now, she's making more and more demands. And finally, she says that is what you agreed to charge. You agreed to charge only 10 shillings. Then doctor, so he's in a very confused situation.
Ma'am.
But yes,
Ma'am, your sound is breaking.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
children, majority of you, can you hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then
Yes,
some of you
ma'am.
might be having some technical issues. Okay?
Connection problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, it's a problem from your side. But, oh, now you're starting again. The smile faded and she put her head on one side. And I'm only a poor. Now she started again with her common excuse. What was that?
I'm only
I
poor
am a
widow.
poor widow.
Yes. She started acting. She's a good actress. She started acting, oh, now I'm only a poor widow. Okay. I said hastily, I'll call on Tuesday. What do you mean by hastily?
Fast.
Yes. He spoke fastly. Why was he so fast? Okay.
Because he doesn't want to hear the excuse again.
Continue saying.
Yes, very good. He's fed up of listening to the excuse made by Mrs. Beck. Okay. All right. I agreed. I'll do the operation. I'll collect the cat. I'll do the operation. And then I will bring her back, all for 10 shillings. So the doctor is fed up listening to the excuse made by Mrs. Beck again and again. And he does not have any more time to waste on it. I will call on Tuesday. Is it all clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
have any doubts
No.
No.
regarding today's portion?
Yes.
Yes, you have doubts?
No.
No.
It's all clear.
Yes.
All right.
Ma'am,
Yes.
how did she get to the hospital if she doesn't have a car?
That's a very good question. How did she come to the
Ma'am.
hospital?
Ma'am,
if she
that
doesn't
can
have
be
a
an
car?
argument. They can argue about that.
Yes, of course. James Harriet can argue with this particular matter of fact. But then he is a soft-hearted person, kind person. So he did not think about it much. Okay, so very good question, Jeevan. How did she come to the hospital? That we have to ask. Let's see what happens in the story next. Okay, so dear children, I would advise to read the portion twice or thrice and make yourself familiar with the characters and the story. Okay?
Okay,
So shall we wind up?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll meet you in the next session.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.